Good morning. It's July 1st, 2009, here to give my mayor's report. And I think the big news, obviously, is today's the start of the new fiscal year, and we just adopted our budget for 2009-2010. We are cautiously optimistic that this year is going to be better than last year. I think, as everyone knows, 2008-2009 was a very rough year in the economy worldwide, and obviously those impacts being felt here in the city of Dublin as well. We did adopt our budget, and the thing I'm proudest about this budget is that zero cuts to city services, and that was kind of our primary objective of the city council when we set out on this budget. Is we said we want to do whatever we can to minimize the impact for residents, for public safety and any services. And I'm proud to say that despite the fact that we had $6 million less in revenue for 2008-2009 as we did for 07-08, despite that fact, with the loss of property and sales tax, we were still able to balance our budget without any cuts to public safety or resident services. And it was challenging, and it was not a budget without pain internally. And I think what I really want to do is recognize our city staff for the sacrifices that they have made, as well as the fact that they were willing to take a 0% increase for the upcoming year in terms of salary. That was one of the things that we did. The other thing where staff is sacrificing tremendously is in the reductions of employees, because we have a lot less employees doing the same amount of work. Luckily, we didn't have to commit that many layoffs. What we have done is we've set out on a strategy since November where basically we've left positions vacant positions go unfilled. We've done a lot of internal restructuring, and by doing that, we were able to cut our workforce by 10%, but the work still gets done by less people. So, our employees are making a tremendous sacrifice to make this budget possible, so I really want to recognize them. But nevertheless, that was always our goal, was to minimize layoffs but minimize cuts, and we were able to do that. I think a couple other things that we did in order to achieve a balanced budget that I'm proud of for the upcoming year. We deferred non-essential capital projects. We're still moving forward on the major capital projects that will have a real positive impact on residents, but things like center median, landscaping, sound wall maintenance, things that need to get done but weren't essential, we deferred those kinds of things. That was one of the things that we did to save money. We also filled some staff positions with non-general fund dollars. We were trying to be creative with our staffing, so we looked at some grant opportunities to maintain employees and maintain services, while at the same time not impacting the general fund. We use our recycling Measure D funds in order to fund certain positions. So that was one of the strategies that we did to balance the upcoming budget. One of the initiatives that I personally was suggested and that we followed up on was reducing the city attorney's costs. Because one of the things is that the city was undertaking was an expensive update to the municipal code, where we were going through every single code, hiring the attorneys to do updates, because some parts of the code are outdated. But city attorney hours are very expensive, and I just said during these times, we'll update the essential codes that we need to update, but we don't need to go through line by line. So that was a tremendous cost savings. And we also set aside money in the economic uncertainty reserve. So basically, we took surplus from 07-08, and we realized even as early as November that this was going to be a difficult budget year. So we set aside that surplus in reserve to get through this budget, and that's how we balanced our budget. But with that said, not only do we maintain services, one of the things I'm proudest of with this budget is that we were able to create an environmental services division within the city of Dublin. So that's something that we, as a council, has been a priority. We have a lot of objectives related to the environment. So we took our recycling funds to save 3 city jobs. At the same time, we were able to create this new division. So I'm really excited about that moving forward. The other thing I'm really excited about is our capital projects. And we've got $35 million of capital projects moving forward. Some of the more exciting ones include Fallon Sports Park, the Dublin Heritage Park, the maintenance yard and facility improvements. Those projects combined, by going forward now in a favorable bid climate, save the city over $15 million while still creating essential parks for the city and allowing us to find space for employees and for our needs. So I'm really happy about that. We updated our 10-year strategic plan to include initiatives like I talked about on green initiatives, as well as our comprehensive communications plan. Those are 2 new things that we added this year to go along with our strategic initiatives for downtown improvements, transportation, dynamic parks and recreation, and having a balance of jobs, housing, and retail. So we've got a lot of other things in terms of other highlights of the capital projects, the I-580 Fallon Road interchange, Dublin Boulevard corridor enhancements, the widening of the intersection of Dublin Boulevard and Amador Plaza Road, and the connection of St. Patrick Way between Golden Gate and Regional. So despite everything, still a lot of great things going on in the city of Dublin that I'm happy to report here on July 1st, 2009, the start of our new fiscal year, and one that I think is going to be a much more promising year for the city of Dublin and hopefully for the state as well as the country. So thank you very much.